Uh, Welcome, everyone. Thank you for stopping in this afternoon. Um, we'll get rolling here. We've been working on our new website for months now, actually probably about a year in planning, and had a few listening sessions with leaders and some others, and to find out what was important to them, what was not important to them. And we hope we have a fairly decent combination of the two put together. So let's unveil this. So currently, and in my communications, namely our news flash, um, I said you could sneak peek it at 2024.rpecwa.org. When we go live, this will become the new rpecwa.org that you're accustomed to currently. So you don't need to worry about the 2024. Start off with a few things here. The website is protected, or majority of it is protected for member only access. So we have stuff that the general public can view, which is namely our join page, our about sections, and a couple items under the other menu items here. We did that primarily to provide some value to our members as to what our content consists of. So if someone was to, from the general public, was to come in and begin to want to read an article on our website, they will get a teaser of it, and find to read more, please consider joining. So for our general membership, there's two areas where you can log in, and to view everything on here, you need to log in. So one is under the member area. You'll see my account. And if you haven't been here before, you want to go to register a new account. And if you've done that, you just go to member login. That's also down here on the sidebar. And so I'm going to log in here real quick. And with successful login, it'll send you back to the home page. When you first register with our site, all registrations need approval. That way we can verify you're a member. And so that we hope, unless we're flooded with tons of new registrations, we hope to get those all processed within a relatively short period. If I notice them while I'm at work, I'll get them published, if not the next morning. And then you'll have access to those. You get a confirmation email with registration, and you should get one with when the approval is done. But now that you're logged into the site, you'll notice that a lot more information is available under our member areas now. Not only the calendar, but you can see the bill tracker, our ledge day, our training, our events, our evaluations and report forms, as well as our member area. Now we have chapter information, member information, and we'll start walking through that. One of the first things you'll notice is we have this kind of rotating banner up here on top. That's for high profile items. Our convention info page, it'll take you right to it. And the next one you'll see is our new Spotify channel for our podcasts. Below that is our main menu bar. And so under join, we have a short video on why joining RPEC is important, as well as our membership applications. Unique thing about our membership application is we can now process credit card payments online instead of manually here in the office. Uh, hopefully most people will still sign up for deduction, but that is going to be an option available. But I also set this up so that our cash paying members can renew dues through our website now. And so they get the option of whether it's new membership or dues renewal. If it's dues renewal, some of the information goes away that they don't have to repeat it. And they just let us know how they're signing up. And if they choose credit card, then you get that information. If you choose automatic dues, you get that information. About RPEC is pretty similar as to what it used to be. A little brief page about RPEC, its creations, and how it was developed. We have a contact page now for the general public to reach out to us. This can also be used for if you don't have an email for a staff member readily apparent, you can also reach out to us through here, and it's got a couple different options. Lists our executive board, and then we have links and resources here as well. And we will constantly be working on building this out further in the future, but it's our affiliated unions, affiliated organizations, state agencies, federal resources, etc. And clicking on any of those will take you to that entity. So if you click on Council 28, you'll get the Council 28 page to pop up. Calendar and events, we still have the same calendar. It's one of the better ones out there for this type of website. We try to put everything we can on here. If your meeting information isn't correct or you don't see it, by all means let us know. But we have gone through and tried to populate the entire 2024 calendar year with all the chapter meetings that we're aware of on their regular basis and where they meet. Any particular chapter, if you click on a chapter event, they'll take you there. It'll tell you where they're meeting, when and what time. And you can also view their newsletter from this page as well, the most current newsletter. We don't keep an archive of chapter newsletters on here. We just, every time a new chapter newsletter is created, it overwrites the old one. So it's always the most current newsletter on here. We have our bill tracker, which will basically be updated during session. And so this is the results of this last session, and that'll begin updated again in January when session begins. Our other event pages, excuse me, we have our convention page, tells you when and where. We got the call, the memo, registration form, constitution on here, dates. A lot of the information you'll find in the memo or in the call are on here. Our legislative day, our leadership training, and then we have evaluations for our various events, which when those events wrap up, we'll send you to one of these pages to evaluate. We built out our member area. This begins with your account. And again, if you're logged in, you're all good to go. We've done chapter contacts now for members, so they can quickly see who the primary contact for their local chapter is. So we have all the chapters here. It'll show you a short list. You can expand that to more, or you can just go to the next page if you want to find your particular chapter. And that's just a table that's held in the background. So all we have to do is update the table and the page is updated. We also list the executive board contacts so that you can reach your district reps or a member of the executive committee if you need to. Um, our chapter meetings, again, we made a table with the scheduled chapter meetings throughout the year when they meet. This does not include special events like cookouts or holiday
Oh,
parties or anything like that. This is just your standard chapter meeting schedule, and where they meet and when. So if anything changes within your chapter, again, let us know and we can get that table updated. Uh, we have our chapter newsletters on here. Again, this is the most recent copy of any chapter newsletter. So just coming here and clicking on one of those will take you to the most recent chapter newsletter. And those are all downloadable and printable for you as well. So we have our benefits. We added in our PAC and people contribution form enrollment forms. So those don't have to be on paper anymore. If you want to sign up for PAC or adjust your PAC or people contribution, you can simply come to this site and fill out the form again. And those are pretty simple. We did add a member information change page this time. This is a great way for members to let us know if we need to change some information about them. This includes their preference on newsletters. So if they check one of these, they'll get a box down here whether they want a digital version by email or a print version. If you're changing your home address, you can change that, your mailing address, email, phone, etc. And you can change as many as you want in here. So if you want preferences and your address and your email and all that, it'll open up the various sections for you to change. So you can change them all at one time and then just click submit. So hopefully that we can help keep our member info a little more current with that. The
yeah.
last thing under here, which I probably noticed I skipped over, was member forums. It was encouraged that we add some forums, a place for our members to have discussion if they so chose. So we have some basic categories set up, and we'll try to pre-populate some of these so they're not so blank. But we have a general discussion area, which you can pretty much talk about anything you want there. If you just want to share vacation info, news, jokes, etc. We have an area for our legislative issues and our advocacy, and that's currently divided up into some of our hot button items, our COLA, HCA stuff, Medicare, Social Security, our call to actions. We have an area for discussion on membership. We created a section for chapters, for individual chapters. Each chapter has their own sub forum. So this is a great place for chapter presidents, secretaries, membership chairs, etc., to come in and share information on what's going on with the chapters and point their members towards that area. And you can have discussions, you can have share news or whatever you'd like to share. But it's an avenue where you can have discussion within your chapter for people, so you don't have to run out and create a Facebook group or something else. I've created a section for districts for our district leaders to have open discussions with members in their districts. And I've created a section for our committees and work groups to have discussions so that people can interact with our committees about what's being discussed or worked on. And then I do have a website support section. So if there's problems you run into, features that aren't working right or that you wish to see, that's a great place to drop them in, and we can have kind of a collective area to go through that information. And this doesn't have to be the end all be all list for this. If there's other suggestions for other types of forums or sub forums, I'm always open to that, and willing to look at adding some of those. And we'll try to pre-populate, like you said, some of this when we go live, so that it doesn't appear so empty and bare. But currently, I think I have a one topic in here, just rules and etiquette, and that kind of, it's a sticky, so it ends up on all the forums. And posting on here is not anonymous. So you notice during login that we just ask you for your name and your address. One is so that we can easily verify whether you're a member or not. That way we didn't get into usernames and we'd have to search emails or anything like that. So we know who everybody is when they're posting and commenting. So the last menu section on here is our digital content. And we tried to break this up so it's got some sense to it. One is our media area. So it has any webinars we've recorded or posted. So currently we have like our DRS webinar, open enrollment, email, how to protect your email webinar we did, and we'll continue building that up. I'm sorry, John, I didn't see your hand with my screen share going. You have a question?
No, that's okay. In regard to the newsletter posting, are those, see, we do newsletters every meeting, but we don't always have it mailed out through RPEC.
Right, right.
So
if you
there's some way to get the newsletter in that on that site without having to go through all the publication thing.
Yeah, if you're doing it on your own, absolutely. Just you know, if you send us a copy, even if it's in Word, send us a copy and say this is for the website, or if you send it to me, I can get it converted to a PDF and we'll upload it here so that it's available for your members. So okay. Yeah, not a problem at all with that.
So one other thing that under the member area, we talked months ago about whether certain documents might be available, like our, for example, the bonding information, the thing that we have to do every year for a bonding.
Or a surety bond.
Surety bond, the, I don't know, there are other documents that AFSCME wants or that we have to do on a regular basis. Are those going to be available so we can just download them?
Yeah, some of them are. A lot of that will be under digital content. So like under chapter here, we have, I actually have all the chapter constitutions, current constitutions available. And the page looks just like the one we're on, the chapter newsletters. It just says chapter constitutions. But if you were to click on any of them, you'd have that particular chapter's constitution. We'll have copies of the current leadership handbook and the treasurer handbook. Both of those, or at least the treasurer handbook, will have a lot of the forms that, like our surety bond and whatnot, within there. And any others that we come across, like I have chapter election, travel reimbursement, and the surety bond, I'll look at putting that up there separately. I'll have to talk to Jane to see if she needs to do anything ahead of time with that. But if not, if it's just a straightforward template for you to fill out, we'll get that under the forms here for you as well, either under chapter or forms. But we have our officer's manual from AFSCME, our election manual, a few things on how to do meetings. These are prepared by AFSCME as well, and parliamentary procedures. Under council, we have our priorities, our council newsletter. The most current version is always up here. And usually it's up here long before it gets out of the printer and in the mail, a good week to 2 weeks. In fact, my mail house had a piece of equipment broke, so our last newsletter just dropped Wednesday, so you should be seeing that in a few days. But this version's been up for about 2 weeks now, on our website. Our constitution, our strategic plan, district maps. Under recruitment, we have our flyers for retiree and associates. So we're continuing to, as we're getting towards the end of this project, continue to add forms that are more generally used. Some specific forms we may just leave for to be requested. But in answer to John's question about like the surety bond, that can also be found in the handbook that we have here. That's a quick run through of the menus. We'll kind of go through the front of the site now. So below the menus, we have what we term featured postings. And these will rotate depending on what's going on and what we have. So like currently our leadership training registration is coming to an end today. So that page is front and foremost, and it'll probably be replaced with our convention page. And then we have a few videos here, a webinar and a video that are of interest and whatnot. And we'll have other things we replace in here on a periodic rotation to kind of keep it fresh. Below that is our news. And there was discussions about how it was difficult to find things with a lot of our news stuff in the old site, and the way it categorized stuff wasn't too friendly to us. So we've broken it down into 3 main sections. One is Washington State news, federal news, and RPEC news. So Washington State, it'll show you everything that we've posted that relates to Washington State. It can also be filtered by specific topics currently, like legislative news. So you only see stuff that relates to the legislature. Health insurance, again, you only see stuff that's related to that, or DRS. Or you can leave it on all, it defaults to all, and you'll see everything under there. If you want to see what's further beyond those, you can click on that thing, but below those are also these 2 forward and back buttons, and that will kind of take you through kind of the history of the postings, that you can see what other news is on there. It'll take you through a page at a time in history. Our federal news is broken down into Medicare, Social Security, and AFSCME. And our RPEC news is broken down into RPEC news, events, and our executive director reports.
Hey, Derek. Penny has her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Penny.
Just a quick question, Derek.
Uh-huh.
Where on the page that we covered where you can update information for yourself, and did you consider an update for location of the meeting?
No, I did not consider that, but that's not a bad idea.
Okay.
So I could probably work either it into this form or a separate form for chapter leaders to submit.
Okay.
I'll make a note of that.
Chapter 9 did have a change of location, but they won't have any more meetings until September. So
okay,
we had a different spot yesterday.
Okay. No, that's probably a good suggestion too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take my hand down.
So I walked you through our basic news items. On the right side, again, you can either log in under member area, my account, or you can come down here to member access and get the same links to number one, register a new account on our website. Like I said, if you haven't logged on before, you need to do that. And then I'll get it approved. And then you can just go to log in after that. If you forget your password, there is a password reset button here that will send you a link to reset your password. Below that is our social media links. This is Facebook and this is YouTube. You can like and subscribe right from here if you want to. I have a small kind of rotating ad space for some of our benefit information. This will take you to that information. I have a couple of our most recent webinars available here that you can spot, as well as our recent podcasts. And those last two items are also available under media. So there's podcasts. That page will take you to an archive of all our podcasts.
Can't hear it.
Christine has her hand up.
Oh, okay. Christine, go ahead.
I had to unmute myself. Yeah, I was just trying to log into the website and I'm in an endless loop where it won't let me in, even though I had a login, and it won't let me reset the password. It just keeps going around and around, sending me to the same page again.
Okay, it probably sent you an email.
Yeah, I know. I clicked on the link in the email and it sent me back to the same page to put my email in to get sent an email.
Okay.
And it came up saying that, it looked like I was, my ID was spam or something. So yeah. So anyway, I'm in this. I didn't know if you covered this in this.
Okay, I'll take a look at that.
We don't have to do it right now, but if I'm the only person getting this, having this problem, but
Okay. Yeah, when you put your email in, a lot of times it'll come back to that same page. The form is blank, but there's a added sentence on there that says, please check the link in your email.
and then I did that, and when I hit the link in my email, it took me back to that same page.
Right. Okay, we'll work on
Yeah.
on
Okay.
that.
Just wanted to mention that in case anybody else was having the same problem.
Okay, appreciate that. But anyway, the webinars and podcasts, like I said, we just kind of feature them on the page here, but they are under our digital content page. So media is basically all our recorded video calls. So we have our webinars, we have past leadership calls, which are a good source of information for chapter leaders, our recent podcasts, and any other videos that we have. So overall, that's kind of a quick rundown of our website. Like I said, we're still working on building it out and finishing it up. I'm planning to go live by the end of the month, if not sooner. I know one of the things on my short list here is I need to finalize the payment processing for under the membership applications. I don't have that connected yet, so I'm working on finishing that up. So if there's if there's something that you think is missing or that you'd like to see, by all means, let me know. I have had some requests for information that we can't do is although I do have chapter contacts that is so our membership can reach out to their chapters or to the board. But that is behind our password protected area. But I won't put general membership information on there. So we won't be putting rosters or anything like that on that. That we will still transmit on a case-by-case basis. So were there any questions? Anything I went through too quick or didn't cover well enough for you?
Yes, this is Warren. I had a couple questions.
Sure, go ahead, Warren.
Okay. What is your estimated effective date that this will start? Number one. Number two.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I'm planning to have this live by the end of the month.
Okay.
I'm hoping sooner, but by the end of the month. And you'll know when you go to rpecwa.org that it it's this site instead of the old one.
Okay. Second question. Do you anticipate you will also post Lori's monthly executive director report?
That is indeed on here. So if you go down to RPEC News on the front page.
I know you post the quarterly report and the news flash, but I hadn't seen that you had her monthly executive director report.
Yeah, all her monthly reports are posted.
Okay.
Are posted here.
Last point. You have a lot of bells and whistles on this website.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if all the bells and whistles will be explained in your support section, or if you can send something out that kind of gives us an overview of all these little bells and whistles that you have with the different sections of the website.
Mhm. I can definitely try to put some more information out. I'll have this video available that people can kind of walk themselves through. I was also intending to build a more formal kind of first time walkthrough video for members to follow through and find information. So we also have the under the forums, we have the RPEC website support forum that people can ask questions. So
yeah, because it'd be nice since it's new. Videos are nice, but I like something where I can go actually look at the particular section. Oh yeah, I remember Derek saying something about that and what we could do with it. It'd be nice to have a little reference sheet. I'll put it that way.
okay. I can look at maybe putting together a small cheat sheet or something for the website to tell you where to find things quickly or where to head to.
Yeah, thanks,
So,
Derek.
Yeah. Bob.
Yeah, the only question, is there some place that I might have missed that the Political Action Committee recommendations is posted?
Currently, we don't have them posted. It just the board just approved a lot of their recommendations. It will be in all the endorsements will be in the summer newsletter that will be coming out, which will be posted on here.
Okay.
But we can also probably within our forums, we can make a post for I believe we have a political action committee sub forum, so we can actually probably list the current standing of their recommendations and board approvals there.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And it'll be once we get the summer edition prepared, which will be very beginning of July. I'll be working around around the July 4th holiday, getting that ready. That will show up in our RPEC news, just like the spring newsletters here. And we'll have the summer newsletter and probably a separate post for the endorsements once that's, once we're making it to the public. So, but I could also probably add a section which people would find helpful. The information sent out by email currently, but perhaps something for our current board minutes, which would reflect that information, since the board just went through their approval process on the PAC recommendations. So I'll look at that. Matthew, you have your hand up?
Yeah, are you gonna have a search section on this website? So when you go around, if you can't quite see what you're looking for, you type in a search for this
Sure.
website.
Yes. You go underneath our featured things on the right-hand side here, just
Okay,
to the
all
right
right,
of the
there
news
it is,
articles.
okay.
Right. And
Good.
that works pretty well. I've had a couple members tell me that it doesn't take much more than a couple keywords to locate what you're looking for.
Good.
So, and it should list pretty much anything that relates to that item. So I typed in COLA, and you'll get basically all our news articles that relate to COLA.
Thank you.
And if you see it on yours, this black bar up above, just you can ignore that. You won't see that on your website. That's administrative stuff on my end that I have up there. So any other questions or features that we might be missing currently? Oh, not seeing any hands. Hopefully I didn't go through that too awful quick for you, but if you run into any problems, and Christine, I'll be definitely working with you. I'm more than happy to try to work them out or solve any issues that you come across. And we'll get this video loaded as well, so that we'll probably put a link to it up here in the upper banner, so that, and make it available. So even if you're not logged in, you can still get to it and watch it and walk you through there. And I'll be working on a cheat sheet as well, per Warren's recommendation. I said, this thing is intended to be fluid now, so we can modify and shift it as we need. Especially with content right now, we're working on preparing for leadership and treasurers training, and working on the handbooks. And so I'm sure there's going to be plenty of sections out of there that might be of use to be pulled out of the handbook that we can put underneath a few items here to make that information more readily available to our chapter leaders as well. So I appreciate everyone stopping in today and your interest in this, and hopefully we've produced something that is more to your needs and
Hey, Derek.
desires.
Matthew
Yeah.
has a hand up again.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Matthew.
Yeah, are you gonna have this in an app form as well?
No, it will translate to smaller devices.
Okay.
But I don't have the programming experience to develop an app, although I've thought about it. And it might be something we explore down the road here a little bit. But which isn't a bad idea, but we'll have to sort out exactly what we want an app to do. But that is something we can look at. But this website will translate to devices from computer screens to tablets down to your phone.
Okay. Great.
So,
Good to know.
Susan.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thanks, Derek. I love this, and I love that we had this sneak peek, and it'll be really nice to be able to share with our members. So I just want to thank you.
Oh, appreciate that. Thank you. And I see a couple more hands here. Feel free to register on the site. I'll get you approved right away, and that way you can look through everything on here. And definitely, give me your feedback. You guys are the first ones, aside from the board at a previous meeting when it was a little less developed, to see what we've done here. So if there's still things missing or things you find that aren't quite working right or whatever, let me know. We'll get them remedied. John.
Eric, I see that you had the podcasts available on Spotify. Do we have to join Spotify in order to hear the podcasts?
No, they can actually be played directly from our site. The link up in the banner will take you right to Spotify, which,
okay,
that wants you to sign up for a free account. But if you go to any one of our podcasts that's embedded here on the site, it is set up so that basically you can play that right here on the site.
Okay, great.
And listen to it. So
Thanks.
yeah, just a nice, easy thing. And it's also been, aside from Spotify, I believe Alyssa has pushed this out to Apple and Amazon and some of the other more popular podcast repositories, which we haven't done an official launch notification of our podcast yet. That should be coming pretty shortly here, but all the places it'll be available will be in that information blast for that. Michelle.
Yes, will this website track the searches so that you can tell what is of greater interest to the people?
Yes, I do get quite a bit of information back. I don't think it tracks so much searches within the website. I can double check that, but I do get some good analytic information from searches people have done through Google or other search engines to get to our site, which gives me a lot of information what people are looking for as well. But I can definitely look at whether or not our search, inner site search here, does any tracking. And because that would be helpful to know if people aren't finding something easy enough for, that we need to make something a little more apparent for them. So appreciate that. Ed.
I'm curious about the records, whether it would be possible to, for example, have a historical photographic record of events and where people have participated that can be used for reference. And also in doing searches, if we don't know a particular individual's position within the organization, we can enter a name and have a basic reference. No, nothing other than, what chapter and maybe a contact number or something like that.
For the second part, we have, we have chapter contacts, which will lead you to chapter president, and it also lists the current board. I may add an additional table on there as far as committee and work group chairs, so that there's contacts for them as well. Outside of that, that's kind of a tough list to maintain.
Yeah.
Because of the constant changes on there. But we can look at getting information, but I don't think we're going to have any large list of members and what they're tied to. We can always, we can always provide a list of, a committee or committees members upon request to anyone. But I do try to limit how much information is exposed on our members here. I do have this, like I said, our contacts behind our passworded area, just so it's not so available to the general public or to bots or anything like that. And believe me, even as a small organization like we are, I get hit on a regular basis from the outside world. I think the current website this past week has blocked 168 hits from Bulgaria, probably about 60 from Singapore, 24 from South Korea. So, the bots out there in the world are constantly trying to attack sites and find vulnerabilities. So for that reason, I try to keep information that I keep on members published on the site to a bare minimum. The membership join page and any of our registration forms, those all go to a back-end thing that basically any hackers don't get access to or can't get access to. And it dumps it into a table that we can download and export and routinely flush out. So that stuff's not stored anywhere where hackers or bots can get to that information. And our site is also SSL protected, so you'll note that our site always is HTTPS instead of HTTP. So it's got a secure, what's called secure socket layer right up front on it. So John, you have another question?
What was the new address before you go full bore on RPEC.wa?
If you want to view it before we go live, if you want to play around with it, it's 2024.rpecwa.org. It's the same as ours. It's just 2024 dot in front of rpecwa.org.
Okay, great. Thanks.
And then when we go live, it'll just become rpecwa.org, like our current site is. I just basically build it as a subdomain currently. So, and you may have noticed if you signed up for our leadership registration, it took you to this site for the leadership registration part, because to help save costs, we shut down our the old application we used to use to register and do surveys and stuff, and the one that we use on this website does everything for us now instead of a third-party website. So so that's basically all I have currently. Like I said, we'll get this video produced and available to help walk people through, and we'll try to produce a small cheat sheet to help you find sections that you're not familiar with. And like I said, by all means, feel free to register an account, log in, and look through it, go over it. If you find stuff or think it needs stuff, let me know. You know, I'm not opposed to adding more. I want this to be a good resource tool for our leaders as well as our members. You know, the only thing that we're kind of sticklers on is not posting general membership information on here. But other than that, you know, feel free to look around and explore. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. Call me, email me, you know, leave a comment in the forums, and we'll check on them.
Martin has a question.
Oh yeah, Martin.
Yeah, Derek, I have a question about the leadership training. When I signed up for it, but I never got a confirmation email or anything like that. Is that something we should be expecting?
I'll have to see why not, because it should have been sending out a confirmation email. I'll take a look at that and find out what's happening with it. Yeah, I'll look at my email log on here. We'll see what we can do about this. But it should be sending out an email, and then as far as leadership training, we'll also be sending out information as we get closer to that with a meeting link and documents, etc. So, but I'll make a note here. Yeah, I thought I had everything turned on, but kind of scrambled at last minute, needing to get a registration page set up for this. So I will look into that. So I don't have much else. I'm happy to stick around and answer any more questions anybody has, but outside of that, I do appreciate all of you coming in here today and taking a look at this and being involved in this process. And hopefully it's something that will work for you as leaders or members for a while. Like I said, it's fluid, so we can modify this, we can change it, we can add to it, and do what we need to do to make it workable. So again, I thank you all, and hope you all have a great weekend.